And welcome to Tri-Valley High School, everyone. We're in the doghouse tonight for an NVL matchup. It's Maysville at Tri-Valley, and NVL boys play. Thanks for watching with us here at Storied Rivals on YouTube. I'm Aaron Sprague, joined by the former coach, David Hilliard, and athletic director. You've heard him all season long with the Tri-Valley Scotty boys and girls. Tonight, I'm joining him to get in on the action. But David, you've seen a lot of Tri-Valley games, a lot of boys games, and we're headed into the tournament time-ish, when the tournaments are all being a week or two, and Tri-Valley first had a quarantine last week. They picked up 2 wins since then, but two teams hopefully in mid-season form despite being quarantined a few times.
Tri-Valley coming into the road right now. They won 3 straight basketball games. After a tough start to begin the season, a couple really tough non-league basketball games there. The Sales, very nice basketball team. William Brown another loss that they had early on, but they won the last 3 games, all NBL games. They've been playing very well, and it's all due to their defense. They're playing excellent half-court defense, forcing a lot of turnovers, forcing a lot of bad shots. That's led them to 3 straight wins, and hopefully that one run keeps up with them tonight.
And as for the Maysville Panthers, they got off to a kind of a shaky start, young squad, but Coach Dave Brown's squad is putting it together. And there's one of those teams that you just can't sleep on any given night, especially for Tri-Valley. They're 1 game up in the large school standing over Sheridan, and they can't afford to live up here. Maysville's one of those teams you gotta watch out for. They got that 1 game lead in the standings. Sheridan already right behind.
Well, Maysville themselves, they have won 4 of their last 6, and their only 2 losses in that time frame have been to Sheridan. So they're playing really good basketball. Quentin Stottsberry had 29 points versus Coshocton last week. That is a career high for him. He really seems to be on the uptick. He had 22 in the game against Philo as well. He's really scoring the basketball, and that's something I know that Coach Brown expected, was that Quentin Stottsberry was going to be probably his leading scorer, if not his best player. So he's been playing well, and the other, Logan Smith, has been throwing in some points for them as well. So Maysville, a young team, except for those 2 kids, and they seem to be playing their best basketball after losing. They lost first 5 games of the season. That's kind of tough, but here they are now, all healthy, all ready to play, and playing well.
Should be a great matchup. You have a young new coach, fairly young, new to the league, versus I guess you could call, what do they call them, the old heads, right? Guys that have been around a while. Coach Todd McLaughlin. He's been around 24 years for the Scotties, against Dave Brown, who's now entering his 4th season with the Panthers. We'll tell you more about the matchup here in just a moment as we get ready for the national anthem from the doghouse. It is Tri-Valley versus Maysville. Tri-Valley 6-5 overall, 4-0 in the MVL large school division. Meanwhile, Maysville is 4-8 overall and 2-5 in the MVL large school division. And let's head to midcourt for the national anthem before we get this game started here on YouTube/Storied Rivals. Please give us a share if you would. Pass it along. We are free tonight thanks to our generous sponsors from Muskingum Valley Health Center, Ohio National Guard, Rankin and Rankin Insurance. So if you would, please give us a share. Post it on your Facebook, tweet it out, whatever you do. I think we're going to have a good game for you tonight. We'll be right back here in just a moment as we check in with the national anthem. And welcome back inside the doghouse for tonight's matchup. It's Tri-Valley against Maysville. And we get over the starting lineups. Dave, why don't you give us the starting lineups first for the Maysville Panthers, the visitors on the scoreboard tonight.
For Maysville, starting number 2, Quentin Stotsberry. Number 4, Alex Bob. Number 10, Cade Searles. Number 23, Hayden Jarrett. And number 33, Logan Smith rounds out the starting lineup for Dave Brown's Maysville Panthers.
Dave Brown, as I mentioned, he's in his 4th season, his 7th year overall coaching. He actually assisted at John Glenn there for a bit with Greg Woodard. He is a Muskingum University alum, played 2 years for the late Gene Ford, and he also played 2 years before that right out of high school, out of Coshocton High School at Southern Wesleyan out of South Carolina before Dave had a great career at Muskingum. I mean, Dave was one of those guys as a player where he wasn't the biggest guy, he was sneaky good. You looked at him, you're like, God, who's this guy? He could really put it in the bucket. So he was a great high school and college player there at Muskingum. He actually told me that he was going to tell a Gene Ford story tonight in the locker room, because Gene Ford, the former coach at Cambridge, coach at Muskingum, he was a character, and anyone that played for him or knew him has some Gene Ford stories, so he was going to pass one of those on to his team tonight. For the Tri-Valley Scotties, they are led by Todd McLaughlin in his 14th season at Tri-Valley. He spent 10 seasons at his alma mater, West Muskingum, previous to becoming a Scotty. In the starting lineup for the Scotties, Dave.
For the Scotties, and as we've seen, it's the same solid starting lineup they had the other night. Ty Smith starts for the Scotties. Alex Williams, Jake Frew, Luke Lyle, and Caden King are the 5 starters for Tri-Valley tonight. And a little bit undermanned here, COVID issues with the team, but they played very well with this unit the other night. Had a nice rotation going with both the Frews and Caden King on the interior, and then Ty Smith, Alex Williams, Luke Lyle, and a little bit of Dalton Hazen and Drew Burkhart on the perimeter as well. So we'll see if that works again tonight for the Scotties.
Yeah, Dave, the Scotties will be without Eric Neal. And also Jalen Goins-Chandler is also unavailable for the Scotties. So down 2 major contributors, but still trying to keep things going, trying to track down another MVL title. Historically, Tri-Valley, 23 league crowns. That is 20. I had John Glenn also had 23, I believe, as well. I got lost there for a second. I thought I wrote it down. As we go to midcourt here to tip this game off, who do we got jumping here? Stotsberry versus Frew. And again, a young team for Dave Brown. Maysville in the gold unis, the neon highlight yellow, if you will, and the Scotties in the white home uniforms. As we go to the opening tip, won by the Scotties and Mr. Frew. Just getting this one underway from Dresden. Please share the broadcast, if you will. Aaron Sprague and Dave Hilliard with you on the call for this MVL matchup. Really a pivotal MVL matchup as Tri-Valley is trying to track down yet another league title here in the big school division. Caden King's pass is intercepted inside by Smith. The Panthers come back the other way. That's Jarrett to Searles, back to Jarrett. Jarrett guarded by Williams. Jarrett, the youngest of the Jarrett children. His older sister, Molly, just graduated last year, staying out on the Big Cats girls team. Ball out of bounds, goes back to the Scotties as we have no score. 7:17 to play in the first quarter. But, Dave, you know what it's like to be in a basketball family. You coached, your kids played.
I know, and it's kind of a strange thing when your kid plays for you. I will say that, but it's nice having that common interest, that common thread. People in my family still like basketball. So.
And they still like you, hopefully, after all that coaching.
I hope so.
Right?
They might. I'm not sure.
7 minutes to go, first quarter. Tri-Valley back on the offensive. On the right wing, it's Lyle. Lyle, the team's leading scorer. Left-handed layup is good for the Dogs. It is 2-0. Tri-Valley in front.
Lyle is really crafty, and that left hand, it gets people because they're just not anticipating somebody going to their left.
Ty Smith with a steal, goes the other way, up and in. A bucket for Ty Smith. He leads the team in steals with almost 3 per game. And the Tri-Valley stretches this lead out to a couple buckets.
We've seen a lot of that here lately from Ty Smith. He's really upped his game in terms of defensive intensity. And as you said, he leads the team in steals, and he's been doing a great job forcing turnovers here for Tri-Valley.
Williams saves it, goes back the other way. Lyle, uncontested layup. He did a little dance with the official on the near sideline to save it. And another bucket for the Dogs.
And that was really way far out of bounds.
Did it actually go out?
Yeah, the official had his back to it. He just couldn't see it.
I got you. Also, special thanks to Jason Cunningham on the camera. He has been super reliable for us this year. Lives here in the district of Tri-Valley and volunteers this time to help us run the camera, so we can't say thanks enough about that. Jarrett with it on the wing, lost it, gets it back. 6-0, Tri-Valley leads. 5:40 to go, first quarter. Another turnover picked up by Caden King. He lost it, and the big guy gets it back. Williams with it to Lyle on the left wing, the southpaw, guarded by Jarrett. 5:30 to go, first quarter. Top of the key, Smith. Lyle thought about lining one up, instead drives, kicks it out top. It's Ty Smith. Ty Smith definitely the definition of a point guard. He always looks to pass first, more of a distributor, gets his buckets when he can and doesn't really force shots. So to me, that's kind of what I want out of a point guard. I don't want what I always reference, like a Russell Westbrook or a Mike Bibby type point guard where they think they're score first. You want a distributor first.
And surprisingly, the other night he hit 3 threes. He really hadn't taken that many three-point shots at all in the games that we've done, and he hit 3 of them, and they left him open, so
well,
you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to hit that jumper when you're open, and here he goes, right corner 3. Smith, no good. Smith, a 3-year starter for the Dogs. Rebound to Stotsberry. Jarrett up ahead to Searles. Searles to Stotsberry, jump stop. Gives it over to Logan Smith. Near travel. Now back up to Searles. Searles drives with the left hand. Bosses off at King, and they get King on a late whistle.
Tough call there on the big guy.
Yeah, tough. I mean, not much more Caden could have did. I mean, literally, Searles bounced off of him. I mean, King is a lineman, but swift on his feet, as we've talked about throughout these broadcasts, and that's going to put Maysville to the line to shoot. Statistically on the season, Maysville 67% from the line as Searles makes the first one. Searles himself is 10 of 17 at 59%. First points on the board for Maysville as Aaron Frew checks into the game, replacing Caden King. Searles' second free throw rattles in. 6-2, 4:51 to go, first quarter. Another sub comes in for Maysville. It is Cole Roberts, a 5'9 sophomore.
That happens a lot to the big guys, especially someone that's as big as Caden King. When there's contact, when two players run into each other, they both have that same right to that space, but who's going to fall down? It ain't going to be Caden King in that situation. Right. So the officials see that contact, and they usually call that foul.
Lyle lines up a 3 and drills it. The lefty, nothing but net for Luke Lyle. 4:28 to go in the first quarter. Quentin Stotsberry gets a bucket.
In the game Wednesday night, Luke couldn't find the basket, and he's already off to a good start here with 7 points early.
I mean, the one game I saw with Tri-Valley, I mean, he was certainly Mr. Reliable to where, I mean, I walked away saying, I mean, he definitely, and he still has a chance for MVL Player of the Year. I think it's considerably open, although Carver Myers from Morgan is certainly probably the front runner with the season he's had, especially how important he is. You talk about MVP. Morgan dropped, I believe, 4 games when Myers was out in quarantine. So when you talk about important players, Carver Myers from Morgan certainly probably at the top of the list.
Luke struggled the other night and then still ended up with, I think, 12, which was a really nice game considering he couldn't throw one in the ocean from the beach in the first half.
Right. Roberts with a great pass. He got triple teamed and found an open Logan Smith, but he missed the bunny. Scotty's the other way. Ty Smith, loose ball, knocked out of bounds. They'll let it stay with Tri-Valley. 9-4, 3:44 to go in the first period here from Dresden.
A lot of contact on that drive there by Ty Smith, but no harm, no foul. But Tri-Valley keeps it on the out of bounds.
Ty Smith finds Frew, back to Smith. 3:40 to go, first quarter, 5-point Scotty lead. Inside to Aaron Frew, back out to Smith. Fakes a shot, back into Frew. Trying to work on Logan Smith. Great shot over the big man for Aaron Frew, the 6'2 sophomore. It's 11-4. Jarrett to the top. It's Roberts, a sophomore. Quentin Stotsberry on the right. Also into the game for Maysville, Alex Bob. I guess we just haven't called his name yet. He started tonight. Logan Smith, the board, the putback, no, but he's going to get tangled up a little bit. Going to get a pair of free throws.
Both the Frews really have excelled inside in the post in the last few weeks here for Tri-Valley. And that's Aaron. Usually has been a lot of JV, and now he's moved up here and played quite a bit on the varsity and has demonstrated a nice touch and a nice move on the inside there. And he had a big night Wednesday night. He had 14. Jake had 21. We said it was too much for you the other night, so hopefully he can keep that going again here.
That was a great line. Good play on name.
Will thought that was a good one too.
Yeah, that's not bad. And the big guy makes both free throws. 11-6, 3:04 to play, first quarter. Tri-Valley, the MVL champs from a year ago, trying to make it back-to-back. Right now they lead the large school division despite having league losses to Morgan and Meadowbrook. That's the small school, and the league decided this year that small school losses would not count, or really any cross-division losses would not count in the standings, where in the normal season they would. At least in basketball they would count against your league standing. Driving to the basket, Lyle with the left hand, gets his own board, puts it up and in. Luke Lyle finds the bottom of the net.
Luke already with 9 here, leading the way for Tri-Valley early. As I said the other night, he struggled mightily in the first half, so a little bit better start for Luke tonight.
2:14 to go first quarter. Logan Smith thought about three. He's not bad on the season from beyond the arc, surprisingly for the big guy. Roberts to Stotsberry, one dribble, big jumper, short. Logan Smith crashes the glass and the bucket. Under 2 to go first quarter. Lyle finds Caden King, drew some contact, gets his own board in the putback. Padding his stats is the big fella.
I think he was trying to draw a foul there. He kind of lowered that shoulder a little bit. Thought he was going to get a little bit more contact, but didn't. But as you said, padded their rebounding stat there, got his own rebound and put it back in for the 2.
That's Caden's first 2 points of the night. Quentin Stotsberry lines up a 3 and connects. All right. The big guy stepped out and knocked down the 3. We got a timeout on the court. Who called that one, Dave? The Tri-Valley? Coach McLaughlin called the T?
I think so.
All right.
30-second one, a little short one, though.
Dave, what about that game tomorrow? I feel like we're just kind of chopped liver tonight because we all know the big game tomorrow is going down right here at about 2:30. One of the premier games in the state of Ohio, I think.
Number 1 Sheridan ladies coming over here to the Doghouse to play Tri-Valley tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to being here for that one, Aaron. I know you're not going to be here, but I'm going to be here. And I'm going to see a good high school girls basketball game tomorrow afternoon.
For sure. And Will Ford will be back with you tomorrow on the call. Will, he's been with you guys all season long, and he will be back. So that's going to be an outstanding matchup, really, for the league title. The Sheridan girls won the first matchup, and Tri-Valley with a chance to try to even the score. And Sheridan ranked number 1 in the state. Number 1 in the state in Division II. Tri-Valley yet to get any love, despite only having 2 losses and being quite a team. So that is going to be a marquee matchup. That'll be free right here for you on our YouTube page. So please share that around. You will not want to miss it, especially free of charge. Are you kidding me? It's going to be a good one to watch tomorrow afternoon. Back to the action. 1:10 to go in the first quarter. Let me change the camera for you so you guys can see. And Logan Smith reaches in there, takes it away, and a jump ball called.
So that's going to go to Maysville.
I do apologize. I mean, we're a multitasking crew, guys. We got 2 cameras set up, and we got 3 people. Do the math. I mean, it's definitely a skeleton crew, but thanks to Dave and, like I said, Jason for being here all season long. Also, thanks to Kate Martin, student at Tri-Valley, who's helped us throughout the season. Cannot do it without good people. So if you see them, say thanks. We certainly love providing this service for you during these COVID times. Really changed things up, and glad to get into the broadcast side of things. Under a minute to go, first quarter. Cyril's with it. Finds Jarrett at the top. 45 seconds to go, first quarter. Jarrett drives, stops, keeps going, finds an opening, and they just kind of kept backing off of him. Jarrett able to put it in. 2-point game.
And he's very capable. He's had a couple of big games here lately for Maysville, so he's a scorer, so you can't really back off a score when he gets it that deep.
Yeah, Lyle for 3. He found it. Wow, another big first quarter for Lyle. I must be his good luck charm. Second time I've seen him just light it up. 3-pointer. And he has 12 of Tri-Valley's 18 first quarter points. 10 seconds to go, first quarter. Count them down with me. Stotsberry to Logan Smith. Back to Stotsberry. 5 seconds left. The 8-footer got it. Quentin Stotsberry with a nice stroke, and it's a 3-point game as we head into the second quarter. So Maysville, after a very sluggish turnover-plagued start, has picked up the pieces enough to be right in this ball game. It's 18-15. We'll take a break to hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. More second quarter action from the Doghouse live.
Here at MVHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
As a locally owned and operated independent insurance agent, Rankin values investing in our local communities and students. Best of luck to all the athletes competing this season throughout the Muskingum Valley League.
In the Army National Guard, my part-time service lets me serve close to home, keep a full-time job, and earn money for school. I really can have it all in the Army National Guard.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
And we're back at the Doghouse. Thanks for joining us as I drop my notepad. We appreciate it. 18-15. Big first quarter for Luke Lyle. That's really the story. And then Maysville finally cleaned up their turnovers. I mean, they were having a hard time taking care of the ball, and they cleaned it up. So the young guys playing well. We'll see if they can sustain and hang with the league-leading Scotties.
I think the unique thing about basketball, these two teams have already played each other once. That second meeting is always, it's a tougher game. It's a closer game usually. You've seen each other, you know what they like to do.
Searles takes a three after a Scotty turnover. Nice way to crash the boards in there for Maysville. Alex Bobb, a 6'1" freshman.
I think they got Lyle for that one. That's going to be his first foul.
7:31 to go in the second quarter. Jarrett gets into Stotsberry. He's in the paint. Jumper on the run. Man, when he's playing like that, Maysville has a chance.
He has a really nice, that intermediate game, that pull-up jumper. He's hit a couple of those already tonight.
Well, tonight he does for sure. You know, I saw Maysville at John Glennon, and Stotsberry didn't play so well that game. But tonight, he is definitely a factor you got to account for with his length.
He's going early. He's got 9 already.
We're a 1-point game, and a foul called as Ty Smith tried to get to the rack. And that's what you also need out of your point guard, Dave. You do have to have an aggressive point guard that's willing to attack and get in to the paint and kick out. I mean, drive and kick. And that time Ty Smith took the initiative to try to get to the basket and decided to go all the way before getting the foul.
And he's been more than willing to do that here for Tri-Valley. And just the other two games ago, he hurt his ankle very late in the Coshocton game, and that was one of those, or no, it was the Philo game where he hurt his ankle late in the game, and it's, you know, he didn't look 100% Wednesday night. He looks better tonight, but it kind of took away some of his aggressiveness.
Ty Smith made both free throws. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 20-17. Stotsberry drives to the right side. Another pull-up, got the foul.
He traveled.
Oh, he traveled.
Yes,
okay, took an extra step. You know, kind of stinks that, you know, Stotsberry and Smith are seniors from Maysville, because those would be obviously two nice pieces to bring back with this young squad, because that's the size for Maysville.
Yes.
You know, not that they have crazy size, but Stotsberry is 6'5" and long, and the way Logan Smith, you know, plays really soft, light on his feet. I mean,
little full court action here from Maysville. Little token man-to-man pressure. They've dropped back into a zone right here.
And a steal. Roberts over to Searles. 6:30 to go first half. Top of the key, Jarrett tries to break down Lyle. Lyle, great defense. Now Stotsberry cuts through. Man, and one. Telling you, Quentin Stotsberry. What a move to the rack. I mean, that was a very athletic move for a 6'5" player.
That's got Jake Frew with 2 fouls here early in the second quarter, and he's going to come out of the game.
Stotsberry at the line. He's 29 of 39, 74%. That is tops on the team. And he made that one, and we are tied for the first time tonight, folks,
And on cue, he makes the free throw.
There he goes. He's going to like me after tonight, saying good stuff.
You know, that's a zone that they've just extended full court, and then they just back it up a little bit.
Aaron Sprague, Dave Hilliard with you here on Storied Rivals YouTube channel. Underneath it, an easy bucket for Drew Burkhart, a 6-foot junior, and Tri-Valley back in front.
I tell you, Tri-Valley, when teams have zoned them, they have just torn them up this year. So I think they're probably licking their chops at the sight of that zone.
Bob at the top, airs it down into Jarrett, and he finishes and one. He's feeling it. Coach McLaughlin getting frustrated at the easy looks inside that Maysville is able to get. Big bucket for Jarrett. Jarrett on the season, 31 of 48 from the line for 65%. Second on the team in scoring at 13.9%, and he makes the free throw.
That gives Maysville their first lead at 23-22.
Yep, Maysville really feeling it. Ty Smith will take his time bringing it up. Help if I change the quarter, guys, wouldn't it? You guys know what quarter it's in. Apologize for that.
Still that zone look, and in the middle, that high post has been open. In their last game against Crooksville, the Tri-Valley very successful, flashing a post player into that high post area, and they had a high-low look. And again, the post players were they were good distributors of the basketball. They saw people, they got it back out to perimeter shooters. They've had a lot of success against zone, and then Luke had a good look there, just didn't connect. I think Coach McLaughlin will be a little bit happier. Got a deflection there. They're a little bit more active. They haven't been that active on the perimeter and pressuring the basketball and getting some of those turnovers they've had in the last few games. There's one right there.
Yep, nice pick. Nice pick by Williams. All the way with the left side. Oh, could not finish. Comes up a little limp there on his ankle. He tries to get back. Stotsberry pushes it. Another 15-footer. Too hard. Rebound to Aaron Frew.
I really like that pull-up jumper that Stotsberry has, that mid-range game. It's kind of forgotten.
Yeah, well, when it's working, yeah, it's great. Yeah. I mean, that is a lost art for sure.
I mean, people try to get to the basket.
And a foul called at the top. Looks like it'll be on Jarrett.
It's like they want to shoot the three or they want to go all the way to the rim. So that's going to be Jarrett's second foul, and that's third team foul here in the half for Maysville.
We'll have highlights of this game. Next week is our guy Clark Wicks is here filming highlights, or Unreal highlights that you catch on our YouTube and Facebook channels. That'll be out next week. Huge block by Stotsberry. Wow. Jarrett pushes it. Panthers with a 1-point lead. Big body in his way inside. Man, wow, he fought for that one. And he need a little extra flex in the face of Williams. Man, he is just being a bully down there. Timeout for Coach McLaughlin. He is frustrated with the way his guys are playing inside. And give Maysville credit for not settling for many jumpers or many three-pointers. I mean, Maysville is attacking the basket, so whatever the game plan was for Dave Brown, that was clearly it, and Maysville is not backing down from going inside. They must have saw something that they wanted to work on.
Well, and it's Tri-Valley has had the same success inside, but right now you got one of the Frews with a little bit of foul trouble here. Jake's out of the game with 2 fouls. Caden King has been, in and out. I mean, he goes a few possessions, but they really, overall, they don't have that great a size. I mean, Jake is, I think he's 6'3". Caden is, 6'4", but you got 2 nice, bodies in Maysville, and then Jarrett, he plays a lot. He's like a fire hydrant. He's pretty stout. He's been battling in there. Probably lucky he didn't get a little taunting call on that one.
Yeah, well, he's flexed a couple times, which I can appreciate. I like the energy, especially in an empty gym.
Sure.
I'm glad he's getting into it because, man, I was thinking about that on the way over here. Like, these kids have really lost that energy, in the gym on game nights. Luke Lyle, his third three, the stroke from the junior. He has 15. We are tied at 25. Stotsberry for 3, left it short. Loose ball on the deck. Ty Smith comes up with it.
Nice effort, both teams getting on the floor and getting after the basketball there.
Smith picked up by Jarrett at the top. And all the way to the rack, Ty Smith, but couldn't finish. I mean, see, those are the shots that Maysville's finishing tonight. Getting inside and finishing. And Tri-Valley's had a couple where they get to the rack and can't put it in.
And they're kind of looking around thinking they're going to get a foul called, and they haven't been. So
Drew Burkhart going to take a pair of shots here. We have 2 other live games tonight on our website, StoriedRivals.tv, over in the Licking County League. It's Northridge at Heath and also Zanesville at Granville. That's over at StoriedRivals.tv. If you have interest in those ones on a pay-per-view basis, we appreciate your support, of course, as always. It's been a busy January, Dave. I mean, we've live streamed over 60 games by the time this month is over. And that's, of course, in some games have been canceled here and there due to COVID. But
right.
It has been a busy January as everyone's trying to get these games in, and head into February, start thinking about tournament time.
Everybody that's healthy wants to play, and they want to play 3 games in a week.
Yeah, I mean, they're ready to go. I mean, Maysville's been quarantined 3 times this season. Tri-Valley, I think it's been twice. Hayden Jarrett at the top as we're tied up 25-25. Stottsbury. No. Loose ball should be off of.
Should be off Maysville.
Yep, off of Logan Smith. We can't say enough, guys, about this big game tomorrow on the girls' side. Tri-Valley versus Sheridan. I mean, we've been spoiled here in the Muskingum Valley really for a while. We've had some great girls basketball for the better part of a decade, if not more. I mean, we've had some great girls basketball here the last 15, 20 years. Some really good teams and some really good players. 2:54 to go in the first half. Drew Burkhart passes over to Williams. Alex Williams, a 6-foot junior, hands it off to Ty Smith. Over to Burkhart. Now Lyle with it. Lyle with a game-high 15 on 3 threes. Another jumper, and a junior knocks it in.
Did it off the dribble that time.
He is. I mean, he's playing well. He is
move
putting it in.
Back to his left hand, and he knocked it down.
17 for the junior. Inside to Smith. Turn around. Kiss off glass. Good.
Frew going to come back in the game here. He was Tri-Valley a little bit small right now lineup-wise.
Jumper missed. Rebound for the Panthers. And really statistically, Dave, I was going over the stats before the game. These two teams are pretty even statistically from an array of categories, really. And that might just come down to experience. The games Tri-Valley's won, I mean, they do have some experienced guys back. And Stottsbury, again, I mean, when he's playing, Dave, he is a mismatch nightmare. At 6'5", and playing the role of a forward.
Yeah, plays on the perimeter a lot. So, I mean, he is a tough match for anybody on Tri-Valley's roster right now.
When he's able to finish, man, he is definitely a problem. Luke Lyle, again, uncontested. So if you're Dave Brown, you got to figure that out at halftime. Because you take Luke Lyle's ability just to do what he wants, and this is a different ball game in favor of Maysville, but right now Lyle keeping the dogs in it. How about that? Roberts rattles in a 3 from the corner.
That brought down some water on it. That was so high.
The younger brother of Chase Roberts, former Maysville football, probably more so football, but a good basketball player in his own right for the Panthers back in the day. Say back in the day like it's a long time ago, probably, 3 or 4 or 5 years. We appreciate you joining us for sure. Please share this out if you would, if you're enjoying watching it. Hopefully from the comfort of your couch, you're able to make the most of this COVID situation, and hopefully we're on the tail end of that. Hard to believe the year anniversary of the shutdown is coming up, Dave.
Oh.
But we're ready to get back to it. Thankful to be playing basketball, that's for sure. Under a minute to go, first half. 45 seconds to be exact. 3-point Panther lead. Tri-Valley looking to hold for one shot. Luke Lyle leads all scorers with 19. Will he be the guy to take the shot? Foul away from the ball, it appears. Foul on Burkhart, 4. Number 4, Burkhart, his first.
I'm not sure. I didn't see the action there. It was off the ball.
Yeah, we were watching the ball. I mean, it was away from the ball. And the official here on the near side just said that he kind of checked him with a forearm. So Now Maysville will have a chance at the final shot. Ty Smith picks up a foul. Jarrett was trying to blow by him, and Smith reached out his arm.
That's going to be free throws here. That's going to put him in the 1-on-1.
Set to check in for Tri-Valley is Jake Frew, a 6'3 senior, coming out his brother, the sophomore, Aaron. And Jarrett at the line to shoot in the bonus. Misses. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Williams. Lyle will push it. 20 seconds to go, first half. Panthers up by 3. Lyle, a little shake, a little jump stop, gets hammered, and he's going to get to the line. Dave, how much has the game evolved since you coached? What these kids are now training for and the moves, basically their ability to create separation and score on their own, I mean, they are doing things they did not do 10 years ago.
It is so much more individual skill. I mean, there's some, I mean, if you would have said Euro step 10 years ago,
Yeah, right.
I mean, people would have looked at you funny.
Well, and Euro step's like the basic level now. That's like entry level 1 into a separation moves
exactly.
package. 5 seconds to go in the half. Jumper on the run, missed it. Rebound to Stotsberry, and he will eat it as we go to halftime at 32-29 in favor of Maysville. So, Dave, we'll take a break and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit, but your initial thoughts of that first half.
Tri-Valley just not getting the defensive effort that they have in the last 3 games. I mean, Maysville already has 32 points here, and that's, I mean, Tri-Valley has done such a nice job in the last 3 games, just really, really pressuring the basketball, not letting people make those easy entry passes into the post or letting dribblers get to the rim. And that's been happening at all this entire first half. After that initial little bit of, the first few turnovers of the ball game, that first couple minutes, once Maysville settled down, they really they've controlled the game really after that first about 3-minute phase of the game.
We will take a break and we'll come back and we'll talk more of Coach Dave's keys for the second half to see if things get changed up a little bit. But Maysville up by 3 at the half, 32-29. We'll take a break with the sponsors. Right now we got the Tri-Valley Cheerleaders putting on a performance. We'll go to a break. Actually, you know what? Let's finish. Let's let the cheerleaders do their thing, and then we'll take our break. Give me 1 second. All right, the Tri-Valley Cheerleaders doing their thing in here at halftime. We will take a break. We'll check out our sponsors who we graciously support, allow this broadcast to be free for you all. And we'll be back here in just a minute.
As a locally owned and operated independent insurance agent, Rankin values investing in our local communities and students. Best of luck to all the athletes competing this season throughout the Muskingum Valley League.
Hey, this is Sergeant Raz. This is what it's like in the National Guard. Did I mention it was part-time? I give them my time, they pay for my education. We all have family. This is my extended one. What are you doing today? Check out nationalguard.com.
Here at MVHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
Couldn't hear me, could you? Hopefully you can now. We're back at the doghouse. It's 32-29 in favor of the Panthers. Aaron Sprague and David Hilliard with us. He's over there. We're distanced. We're up all by ourselves. Our guy Clark filming highlights for StoriedRivals.com. Filming our Unreal highlights. He's here tonight, so everyone's here. We got a lot of girls' games to film tomorrow as well. Always staying busy, so certainly thankful for that during these crazy times that we're able to stay busy. So that's awesome. But tonight, I mean, so far you have Quentin Stotsberry doing his thing for the Panthers. I mean, he came into the game leading Maysville in scoring at 14.6 a game and really shooting well from the field as well in the season. He shoots at 50%, 72 of 46, and he is performing tonight. Meanwhile, it's Luke Lyle doing it all for the Scotties offensively. I mean, if you're the coaching staff for both these teams, I guess specifically Tri-Valley, because it feels like Maysville has done what they want, how do you stop them from just getting into the paint and doing whatever?
Well, defensively for Tri-Valley, that's the thing that I'm not seeing that has been basically carrying them the last 3 games. Defensively, they don't seem to have the same energy that they have. When people have been trying to go to the basket against Tri-Valley, there's always been 2 or 3 people that surround them, or they're always reaching and tipping that basketball away. They're out in the passing lanes. They're getting deflections, and they just haven't done that except for maybe once or twice tonight where they've deflected the basketball. Ty Smith's had a couple of steals, but still they're going to have to do a better job of pressuring Maysville and getting them to turn the basketball over. I've got Maysville with 3 turnovers, and I think all of those were within the first couple minutes of the basketball game. So they need to create more turnovers, and that's another thing that Tri-Valley has really done. When they get those turnovers, they convert on the other end. They really push the pace, and they get some easy shots out of those turnovers. So that's one thing they need to do. If I'm Maysville, I want to keep my intensity level up. They've really been they look like they want to play. I mean, they really have come up, and they've amped up their intensity level. And as you said, at an empty gym, it's hard to do. And they've really done a nice job of that tonight. But they've got to find a way to stay in front of Luke Lyle. I mean, he's hit the threes. I mean, if you're going to give him the 3-point shot, then, I mean, he can hit them. But he's also hurt them driving to the basket. He's just done a really nice job for Tri-Valley. He's got 19 points. But they've got to find a way to do a better job defensively. Maybe get some more help when he puts the ball on the floor. Come off of somebody that really is not a scorer. I mean, if Burkhart is in the game or Alex Williams, who are not real scorers for Tri-Valley, if you're guarding them, come off and help on Lyle. Get some help for him because he came to play tonight. 19 points in the first half.
Yeah.
That's a pretty solid outing.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think that Tri-Valley with Todd McLaughlin, who's coached 24 years, and I've been in the Tri-Valley locker room plenty of times with Coach McLaughlin during these last 14 years, and he's a pretty mellow guy, but he can light him up when he needs to. And I think it's one of these halftimes where he's going to try to light that fire a little bit, see if he can get some more energy. And let's be honest, I mean, with Jalen Goins-Chandler out, a lot of the scoring is falling on Luke Lyle. So they're going to have to find ways to get other guys involved. Luke creates his own shot, and really, he's been pretty open, to tell you the truth.
Right.
He's been open a lot, which if you're Maysville, that's a huge concern because that's the one guy that you shouldn't leave open. But you're right. I mean, the Frews need to get going a little bit. Ty Smith is going to have to probably assert himself a little more offensively. He's going to have to take charge a little bit, take some more jumpers, and offer a scoring threat more so to kind of free up Luke, and that'll be it. So it'll be a second half complete toss-up. We knew Maysville had the firepower to try to get it done. Tri-Valley's in a league title hunt. Maysville isn't. Let's be honest. Maysville's 2-5 in the league. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. That's not going to happen. But Division II East District is wide open. I mean, there are no powerhouses this year. There really aren't. So if Maysville, especially if you're a young team like Maysville, Dave, I mean, you've been there. You got a young team. It would be huge for them to get some momentum, do some damage in the tournament. That's the type of season that could turn around your program and get the young kids excited. Dave's a young guy. He's putting the time in to try to build the program, get it up and going, and they got to keep peaking. I mean, this is a critical part of their season. I think that if they can keep that going and stretch it into a few tournament wins, with the young guys coming back, that's the type of momentum you need, especially, like I said, with the East District wide open.
Well, that's like you said. It's critical for your program. If you have those young kids, and he does have a lot of young kids that see a lot of time for him, they get some momentum, and they get that feeling like, hey, we were ready to get over the edge. And now, hey, that takes you into your off-season program. That gets you more excited about what you're going to do in the summertime and getting those kids to get out and get better individually. And then when they're together as a team during the summer, you get some time, do some team-building things and try to, build on that success that you just had. And like you said, it's a critical part for their program. If they can get themselves a win here and then maybe get some tournament wins in there, it's critical for success, not so much this year, but next year and the year after.
Well, Dave, I mean, you've seen enough basketball now this season in the MVL in your couple years here living in Muskingum County. I don't think it's any secret that the MVL is not super strong this year. We do not have any world beaters in the conference this year. We don't have anything, necessarily bad basketball, but there's just not – There's parity in the league, I guess you could say. There's parity in the league. It's really wide open, and a lot of teams just really trying to find themselves.
And I know Sheridan is now playing much better. They got
some
people back.
Very much, yes.
They're playing much better. They might be this close. They would probably be the favorite in the big school right now with everybody back. But at the same time, they go to the Southeast for the tournament, so they're not in the East District, so they're a Southeast team. So, and then the best teams seem to be in the small school. I mean, Meadowbrook has been the class of the league so far here.
Yeah, and Morgan's in that Division II. Meadowbrook, right. I believe they're Division II this year. They've fluctuated between D2 and D3.
Are they D2 this year?
I believe so. Tri-Valley D2. That's a breath of fresh air for Coach McLaughlin. As we get ready to start the second half, 32-29 Panthers lead. Hayden Jarrett with it, and we will see. Dave, pay attention because you're smarter than I am. Pay attention to the adjustments that we see out here, all right?
We'll see if we get them. They're still man-to-man. Drew Burkhart started this half, so.
Double team down to Jarrett. He's trying to do his thing. Kicks out. Logan Smith wide open. Big guy, the big fella with the stroke. Maysville's energy has not went anywhere. It's a 6-point lead for the Panthers, their largest of the night. Remember, the Panthers lost by 10 points on December 23rd to the Dogs down in Southtown. Ty Smith took a couple hits and able to finish. Really with his eyes closed. He kind of shut his eyes as he was starting to get bumped and able to put it in.
That's, as you pointed out, maybe Ty needs to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, and you called it.
Well, again, I'm far from smart for sure, but you got to get points from somewhere.
Exactly.
And you look at the floor, who's going to give them to you? Ty Smith, with the experience he has, he might be the one that has to put it in. Stottsbury with the board as Smith missed a free throw. 7:20 to go, third quarter. 4-point Panthers lead. Hayden Jarrett on the right side. And now Logan Smith. We appreciate you joining us. Please share this game. We got a good one. Tell your buddies. Pass it around. It's free tonight, folks. If you're watching on your phone, get on your smart TV. We're on YouTube. You can bring us up on YouTube pretty easily. Logan Smith, the big guy again. Not this time. Panthers do get the offensive glass at Hayden Jarrett. Was that Jarrett or that Smith?
He
it was Logan Smith. Yeah, Logan Smith. He has 11. Back to a 6-point lead. Burkhart to Caden King. Now to Lyle. Left-hand dribble. Switch hands midair. Missed it. Through the board. Missed it. Stottsbury.
And that's where Frew has really been assertive here in the last few games, and he was there getting to the offensive glass. And he's had a nice touch. He converts those reverse layups inside, but he couldn't get that one to go. Disturbed a little bit by Stottsbury in there.
Just popped on, checked our feed. Mr. Goins Chandler watching at home. We appreciate you, Jalen. Hope you're doing well. 37-31. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Logan Smith.
That's going to be a tie-up there, I believe. Yep.
And when you're a coach, Dave, at the very least, you want the effort that your Maysville's given Dave Brown.
Exactly.
If you give me that effort, I'll take my chances, or at least be somewhat happy walking away. They are bringing a solid effort tonight, going right at the league leaders.
Their intensity level has just been off the charts from the opening tip, and hats off to those kids. They're really playing hard tonight.
Ty Smith going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Also got Jeff Ferguson in the house leaving me a comment. Jeff Ferguson of Girls Basketball Association fame. Worked the tournament last weekend for him in the Ohio Volleyball Association. Up-and-coming youth volleyball tournaments. We were down in Cincinnati. So, like I'm telling you, we are staying super busy as Ty Smith makes the free throw.
And that's the first free throw Tri-Valley has made tonight, Aaron. They're now 1 for 4. You pointed out earlier their percentage as a team is not that good.
Well, it's 63% coming in.
If they get fouled, they've got to convert these in a game like this one.
And Ty able to make them both. And you're right. I mean, you got to be able to hit the free ones because this one looks like it's going to be tight until the finish at this rate.
Yeah, neither team looks like they're going to run away and hide here. So right now, Maysville enjoying a little 4-point edge here so far in the second half.
Jarrett thought about it. Great separation, goes back in, lost it. Luke Lyle right there to pick his pocket. Knew right where he was going. Up ahead to Frew, and did not finish, but his brother gets it and puts it in. Jake Frew finishes. It's a 2-point game.
And there was that Lyle created that turnover, live ball turnover. They're off to the races, and they get a layup on the other end. That's what Tri-Valley really needs to get back in this basketball game.
Searles, Jarrett now on the right. Stotsberry, baseline jumper, no. Ball's tipped out. Jarrett grabs it. Big guy hits it again. Logan Smith. What a spark plug this kid is for the Panthers. Timeout, Todd McLaughlin. Of all things to hurt you, the big guy hitting threes. I mean, that's not in your.
And he did that in his last ball game. I was doing a little research, and he hit a couple threes in his last game. So he has that capability. But if I'm Coach McLaughlin, he's probably upset about the rebounding. I mean, they have not been able to finish the possession. They've had a couple good defensive possessions where they forced a tough shot, and then they don't come up with a defensive rebound. I mean, every defensive possession ends with a defensive rebound, and they're not finishing the possessions, and that is what's killing them here in the second half. It's just been offensive rebounds that they've been converting for baskets, and right there, that offensive rebound cost them a 3.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you got to crash the glass. Statistically speaking, Logan Smith is Maysville's best three-point shooter on the season. He came in 9 of 24 for 37.5%. He has been a real difference maker for this Maysville team.
Well, in the three-point shot, the best one is when it's kicked out to you. You're already square, facing the basket. You got your feet set. And that's where he was right there. They kicked it out to him, and he nailed it.
You're right. I mean, we talk about uncontested jumpers. I mean, when you got a free look at it, you hope you can hit it, knock it down as a senior. All right, 4:40 to go, third quarter. We're back at it. Ty Smith bringing it up for the Dogs.
Maysville went zone out of the timeout here.
Williams to Frew. That's Jake Frew. Back to Williams and Ty Smith. Lyle drives in. They collapse on him. He brings it back out. Ty Smith. Tri-Valley trying to analyze this zone. Shot fake. Ty Smith. Wide open Lyle. Lyle being patient. Into Frew. Smith. Pass fake. Lyle wide open. Took a second. Juggled it. And that little juggle, I think, affected him. But big offensive board for Williams.
You're right, it did. Had to gather it a second time. Nice move.
Nice move to the rack. That's Jake Frew, the senior.
And that's where he has made hay in the last few weeks inside this nice little perimeter, or those nice little post moves, and he converts another one to get Tri-Valley within 3.
Stotsberry, Searles to Jarrett. 14 points apiece for Smith and also Stotsberry for the Panthers as they lead by 3. A foul called on Tri-Valley. It is on.
It was on Ty Smith there.
I think he said number 4. No, they did get Smith. You're right. Ty Smith. That's his second. Smith will come out. King comes in. Also coming out for the Dogs is Aaron Frew, the sophomore.
Uh-oh. Missed that one. He had to back up a little bit. But again, there they are getting the offensive rebound, and that creates another foul here. This one I think is on, let's see who they're calling that one on. It was on Caden King. So that's going to be his second foul. And again, Tri-Valley just can't finish the possession and get that defensive rebound.
.330 to go third quarter as they try to figure it out.
I don't see what the discussion is about there.
Top of the key, it's Roberts. Now Jarrett drives hard. Blocking foul up top. Ty Smith gets called. Is that one you let go?
I
mean, it didn't.
I don't see how there was any advantage gained.
Yeah,
there.
You're right. By rule, you had some contact, but you're right. I mean, it did not affect Jarrett at all.
And the defender is the one that fell down. So.
Yeah, right.
But that's Ty's third foul. That's a big foul here for Tri-Valley.
Definitely a problem. 3:13 to go third quarter. 3-point Maysville lead. They've led for a little while now. Took them a while, but they've led since this late in the second quarter.
Burkhart being real active again. That's another deflection for him, and that's probably a reason why he started the second half. He's been active on defense, and coach is looking for somebody that's going to get some stops for him.
We appreciate you watching here on Storied Rivals at YouTube. Aaron Sprague and David Hilliard with you. Good game here so far from the doghouse. Stotsberry thought about it. He's going to take a three. He hit one earlier, misses that one. Loose ball way up ahead to Lyle. He's all alone. Layup with the left hand. I mean, he didn't even hear footsteps.
And that's Lyle's first points of the second half. That gives him 21 for the ball game.
1 point game. 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Stotsberry on the right. Hands it off. Top, Jarrett. Burkhart doing a great job staying in front of Jarrett. Roberts comes to the top.
Luke Lyle doing a nice job on the basketball there, too. Foul's really starting to mount up here for Tri-Valley. It's going to be Drew Burkhart's second foul.
We talk about the tournament coming up, Dave. I can't tell you how much of a breath of fresh air it's been for Tri-Valley the last 2 years to get back to Division II. I mean, that's just demoralizing knowing you when you're Division I and have to go into the Central District and just play. It's a whole different brand of basketball against schools 4 times your size.
Yes, it is.
And they've been able to get down to Division II with enrollment numbers changing a little bit. And that's the same on the girls' side. They were Division I for a good while and have had the good fortune of being, I guess, one of the larger schools in Division II. And that's allowed them to excel as well. But that has definitely been a breath of fresh air. Like you said, I've been around Coach McLaughlin for a while. We experienced some of those Division I runs with him. And that tournament is tough at the D1 level.
Yes, it is.
1:53 to go in the third quarter. Kate King muscles it in and hands it off to Jake Frew. Tri-Valley is back on top.
And that's Jake Frew's 6th point all here in the third quarter. And as we said at halftime, Jake's going to have to step it up, and there he is. Got his 6th point here in the second half.
I'll give Caden King credit, man. He really muscled up and took care of that ball in order to hand it off to Frew.
Yes, he did. There's another nice active play there from Tri-Valley.
Everyone fighting over the loose ball. They were able to get a timeout. Dave Brown called a timeout. We'll take a break here for a moment. We'll be right back on Storied Rivals.
Here at MVHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
As a locally owned and operated independent insurance agent, Rankin & Rankin values investing in our local communities and students. Best of luck to all the athletes competing this season throughout the Muskingum Valley League.
In the Army National Guard, my part-time service lets me serve close to home, keep a full-time job, and earn money for school. I really can have it all in the Army National Guard.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
The rebound. I mean, that's what's killed him here. I mean,
We're back. We're back, Dave. We're live. We're live at the doghouse. Aaron Sprague, David Hilliard with you. We keep talking even during break. 1 point game. 1 point game. Tri-Valley leading 41-40. Thanks for joining us. 1:22 to go in the third. We'll take you back to the action now instead of looking at us. And there you go. See if Dave Brown could draw up something here at the end of the third. The Panthers are right in this thing. Loose ball knocked out of bounds. They'll say it went off of Lyle last. It looked like it kind of got Stotsberry, but they're going to say Lyle touched it last.
I don't think Luke agreed with that call. Nice effort, though, getting on the floor, getting after the basketball from Luke Lyle.
Logan Smith back to Searles. 1:07 to go in the third. 14 points apiece for Logan Smith and also Quentin Stotsberry to lead the Panthers. Wide open three, Searles. Too hard.
I don't think that's a shot they wanted.
Sorry, that wasn't Searles. That's Alex Bobb. Apologize for that.
It's tough there. Frew was trying to gather himself and finish, but he was trying to get up with his left hand. Couldn't quite control the basketball, but Maysville did knock it out.
Ty Smith gets it into Williams. Back to Smith. Corner three.
Short.
And good positioning inside for the Panthers. 43 seconds to go, third quarter. Under 30 seconds to go. Maysville content with holding for one. We have ourselves a ball game. I mean, that district tournament draw with the bracket is going to be interesting in the East District. I mean, there are so many teams that are so comparable, just separated by, I mean, it is going to be interesting to see those matchups. 10 seconds to go in the third. 1 point, Tri-Valley lead. Hayden Jarrett, nope. Logan Smith, step back three. No, missed it. 1 second. Ty Smith, full court heave.
Coming up to us, Aaron.
Oh, at least it protected our equipment. So at the end of three, your score, Tri-Valley 41, Maysville 40. How Tri-Valley is going into the fourth quarter with a 1 point lead, I don't know, because Maysville played really well that third quarter, but Tri-Valley able to fight their way to stay in front. We will take a break. We come back, the fourth and final quarter from the Doghouse. Stick with us.
Here at MVHC, we offer adult, dental, pediatric, women's, pharmacy, and transportation services, as well as behavioral health. We accept all patients. Make your appointment today if you're not feeling well.
As a locally owned and operated independent insurance agent, Rankin values investing in our local communities and students. Best of luck to all the athletes competing this season throughout the Muskingum Valley League.
In the Army National Guard, my part-time service lets me serve close to home, keep a full-time job, and earn money for school. I really can have it all in the Army National Guard.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Welcome back to the Doghouse. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Aaron and Dave with you. Will Ford will be with you tomorrow with Dave for the humongous girls matchup. The Sheridan girls visiting Tri-Valley with a league on the line. Sheridan ranked #1 in the state in Division II. Let's go back to the action here as we have a 1 point game in the fourth quarter just starting. Share with your friends. The game's getting good. Don't let them miss the end. Spread the word. At Searles in the right corner. Try to feed it. The big fella picks it up. Caden King. King gives it off to Ty Smith.
Big possession here in a 1 point game for Tri-Valley.
I mean, Maysville's lead got up to 6. Ty Smith.
Oh, wow.
Great finish.
Tough drive from Ty Smith. Thought he was going to get the and one there. Lots of contact.
Yeah, there really was. He found he made himself a lane. Jarrett up, and he is fouled clearly. He will get to go to the line.
That was on Alex Williams there. It's his second foul. Team's fifth. Something to keep an eye on here. As Tri-Valley with 5 fouls. Maysville with only 2 here in the second half.
Jarrett makes the free throw. Aaron Frew comes in for Caden King. You know, I mentioned Hayden Jarrett at the free throw line. 31 of 48, 64.6% coming into tonight. The sophomore. Misses the second. Quentin Stotsberry, big Q with the putback. We're tied at 43. 7:08 to go in the game.
Here's that zone they extend and pressure a little bit with, but now they're back into just a half-court zone set.
Maybe we'll see a buzzer beater tonight. That'd be fun. Under 7 to go in the quarter. Tri-Valley being very selective and patient to find something nice. Ty Smith wide open, 3. The junior connects in a major way. Ty Smith heating up.
Nice look from Jake Frew, though. Drove that baseline, created that opportunity for the kick out, and Ty Smith converted from deep.
3-point advantage for the Dogs. 6:28 to go in the fourth quarter. I need to update my quarter on the scoreboard. You guys need to yell at me more. I'm trying to get it good for you. 3-point attempt, Searles, no. Rebound to Smith. Smith with 13 points. Luke Lyle, 21 for the Scotties. Stotsbury leads the Panthers with 16.
Back to man here for the Panthers.
Tri-Valley unbeaten in the MVL Large School Division. Maysville 2-5 in the large school. Frew, great finish and one.
That was going to be defensive goaltending as well, too.
Yeah, they grabbed the net there. But Jake Frew finished, and Jake Frew, it's almost like he just needs to decide he's going to go score. Because he has all the skills in the world to score.
They had a set play. They ran there to get it to Lyle on that back cut, and Jake missed him. That's why the coaches got so excited. But then he took it to the basket and got fouled.
Frew missed the free throw. His brother nearly grabs the board. He's going to get called for the foul. The foul is going to be on Aaron Frew. But again, when you look at Jake Frew, he's 6'3", he's a senior. He's just a tad shorter than Quentin Stotsbury at 6'5", but with a similar skill set when he gets going. He is very good at sneaking his way to the basket.
And that was a really unnecessary foul, 80 feet from the basket, and that's going to put your next foul now is going to be in the bonus. So that's really a bad foul deep in the backcourt here.
Well, a really nice timeout for Dave Brown here. I was just about to say, Dave, that this is a big possession. You're down 5. You got 5:43 left, so still a lot of game left. But you got to keep your young team confident. Let's get a bucket here. Let's not get it too far out of control.
And I think if I'm Dave, I'm trying to find a way to get the ball to Quentin Stotsbury here. He had a really nice first half. He had 14, but then third quarter, nothing. He disappeared. We got nothing from him. Now he just got a nice rebound down there and put it back and a put back for 2. But my best play that has him involved, that's what I'm going to go to out of this timeout. And if he's not the first option, if he is the first option, my second option has got to be Logan Smith. There's the guys that have had the most success offensively for Maysville today, and I'm looking at those 2 guys as my big scorers here, and then I guess Jarrett would be my third option. But
yeah,
whatever my best play is here to get Stotsbury a shot or a good look, that's what I'm going to do.
You know, I talked to Coach McLaughlin before the game talking about him coaching forever. He's like, I've had good assistants. He's like, Chris Garber is a great top assistant. He's been loyal, and the rest of his staff. And you look down at Maysville, and, I have not mentioned yet, but Jared Cox. We talked about Dave Brown. Jared Cox, just as young as Dave. He's a Maysville alum. As the steal and the layup right at the timeout. He misses it. The rebound put back, no. Lyle slow to get up, but he's good, and Maysville goes back on it. But that was a big turnover out of the timeout. Yeah. But Jared Cox, Maysville's a top assistant to Dave Brown. They were both in the running for the head coaching job when that job came open. Dave got it, but the 2 guys have made a great staff. They're actually brother-in-laws. They're married to the Sidwell sisters.
Okay.
So they are family, but Jared does a good job as well.
Once again, Aaron
for Maysville.
Sprague knows everybody.
Well, when you get as old as me, Dave, you start knowing some things. And unfortunately, I forgot way more than I know anymore. I actually had to do a little bit of research tonight, going back through historical data just to kind of refresh my mind. Tri-Valley is the king of the hill. Them and John Glennon boys basketball. I mean, they have dominated, the 2000s with 10 and 11 titles. Maysville has not won an MVL since '96. Turnover, nope, they get it back.
And they get over and back.
They did. That was tough. All the momentum was carrying Mr. Frew over the half-court stripe, and he got called for. That was Aaron Frew. It's going to go back to Maysville. The 5-point lead. But, Maysville has not won a league title since '96. They won back-to-back in '95, '96. They shared a title with John Glenn during that time. And those Maysville teams were good. Real good. But the fact it's been that long since they've won a league title. Tri-Valley has won quite a few in that time. As I mentioned, Tri-Valley's won 10 league titles since the year 2000, including 5 straight in the mid-2000s. John Glenn has won 11 since then. And
there's another turnover created by Tri-Valley's defense, and that's exactly what we were talking about they needed to do, was get some turnovers, amp up that defensive pressure, and they did right there and got themselves another turnover here. Got the basketball on a 5-point lead.
Under 5 minutes to go in the game. Tri-Valley maybe trying to slow the pace a little bit, get a little selective. With no shot clock, a lot of high school teams really take that to their advantage. If they're good at, I guess you could say, playing keep away, right? It is definitely a skill being able to kill the clock. Ty Smith taking his time, not forcing anything. Stops, finds Caden King, two steps.
He traveled.
He did. He got a running and started.
He saw a gap.
Well, it kind of felt like the Road Runner, where he spins in motion at first, and then he gets going. He got real excited.
Exactly.
He's like, man, that's a wide open lane, and his feet moved a little too quick.
He's trying to get moving. He just couldn't do it without traveling. Good idea, though.
We got 4:11 left in the game. Quentin Stotsberry tries to get inside. He's been pretty quiet the second half. Top of the key, Cyril's got a 3 look, and he nails it. Cyril's with the bucket. Big shot for the Panthers.
Back to a 2-point game and almost forced the turnover there out of Ty Smith.
Cade Cyril's a 5'11 sophomore. And a turnover. No, Lyle saves it. Used his speed to save it. A timeout from Todd McLaughlin.
Great save there. That was a turnover. That had turnover written all over it. Luke Lyle with the effort to keep the ball in his side of the court and flipped it back to Caden King. So Coach McLaughlin had seen enough there and said we need a little timeout.
Right. We had a comment here from S. Mac asking if Razor was the center for the 96 team in Maysville. I'm not old enough to have a great memory. I'm 40. I've been around. I was in middle school during that time. What I can tell you about those Maysville teams, Dave, I don't know if it was like this down in the Hillsborough area during the 90s, but every team had height. Those Maysville teams in 95, 96 went 6'9", 6'8", 6'5", 6'4". Their front line was incredible. And really every MVL team had a 6'8 big. I mean, every one of them.
Wow.
And Maysville, they had athletic bigs. I mean, those Maysville teams were pretty special. But they never did do much in the tournament. But the league games, man, back then were fun to experience for sure. Ball knocked out of bounds. Where it'll go?
He's going to call a foul.
Oh, we called a foul.
I think he did.
He did.
No, wait. I think he's changing his mind.
No, he called a foul. Dave Brown saying why, where, who. Jake Frew's going to go to the line to shoot. Big free throws for Jake. One of the season, he's 65%, 19 of 29, and he makes that one.
Pushes the lead to 3 here for the Dogs.
See, our comment here from S-Mac says he was 6'9". I'm telling you, these guys are big. And they had Dave Roop, who was 6'9", around that same era, too. Corey Ansel, I remember, he was tall, probably 6'6", 6'7". They were just big, man. That was a special team.
Almost got another turnover.
4-point lead for the Dogs. Up and in. Hayden Jarrett with the emotion again. The sophomore finishes.
And he got Caden King there with his 3rd foul. Chance to make it a 1-point game with just over 3 minutes to go in this one.
50-48. Free throw missed by Jarrett, but a big offensive rebound by the Panthers. A chance to tie with a bucket or go ahead. 3:10 to go. Tri-Valley unbeaten in the MVL Big School Division at 5-0 or 4-0, excuse me. Maysville 2-5 in league play.
That was offensive. Great ball pressure by Luke Lyle. He got in position, pushed off. Jarrett pushed off, a little bit emotional there.
Well, Luke Lyle is what you would call a very heady kid.
Yes, he is.
He's very intelligent with the game. He's a student of the game. His older brother, Jack, graduated last year. You got to play with him. I mean, Luke has been around the game a lot. And from what I'm hearing, the youngest Lyle's pretty good coming up. So more dogs in the future in the pipeline. 2:46 to go in the game. 2-point Scotty lead. Caden King, the big fella, trying to back down Logan Smith. Back out to Ty Smith. And I'll bring it back out. 2:36 to go in the game. 2-point Tri-Valley lead. Ty Smith goes all the way in. Nowhere to go. And they get him on a travel. It looked like he got rid of it first. Coach McLaughlin and Coach Garber of the Scotties saying, how? You saw it right here on our angle, if he had it or not. I mean, Ty made a bad choice
decision,
a little bit because he put himself in the air and didn't have anyone to go to, but it did look like he got rid of it quick. But Maysville down 2:20 to go in the game. Alex Williams called for a foul.
Oh, that's a tough call.
Yeah, he was pretty aggressive. Had a little contact. You know what's funny, Dave? Coach Aaron used to talk about this a lot at Zanesville. I spent a lot of time around him over the years, and he would always point out, hey, basketball is a non-contact sport, guys. Non-contact. And that always sticks out of my mind because basketball actually turns out to be a very physical sport, but by rule, it's supposed to be non-contact essentially. Tough free throw missed by Jarrett. He had a chance to maybe tie it with a pair of free throws, but missed. Now we're looking at 2:12 to play in the game. 50-48. 2-point Scotty lead. They are going to try to run it down now. But not a great free throw shooting team, just at 62% on the season. He's got to foul the right guy. Luke Lyle, tough shot. Oh, ill-advised perhaps. Picked up by Stotsberry. Maysville going to have another life. You got to think they got to draw up something nice here. 1:44 to play in the game. Stotsberry, Logan Smith, 1:38 to play in the game. Top of the key, Jarrett looks at it, drills it. 1-point lead for the Panthers as Jarrett flexes. Man, what a shot by the sophomore after missing the free throw to tie.
He just missed the front end of a 1-on-1 and then did not hesitate to put up that 3-point shot. So.
Man. You know what, Dave? And that's what I miss about not having crowds, man. Like,
I know.
That would just the energy on a shot like that. I mean, hats off to the kids, though, for still, putting all on the line and playing, in a very limited crowd here. What a shot for Jarrett.
That's a big shot. I mean, down 2, and he just missed the front end.
Well, and he has 13 on the night.
And
I mean, he's had a great presence. He has done a lot of little things. Those 13 points seem a lot bigger than they are with the way he's played tonight and the emotion he's played with. I would like to see him and his sister Macy play one-on-one, though. Macy was a heck of a player for the Panthers. 1,000-point scorer. 4-year player in her own right. 51-50. 51-50. 1:25 left in the game. Share with your friends, folks. It's getting good. Don't want to miss the end of this one. Caden King at the top. Lyle. Back to Frew. 1:12 to play in the game. Maysville up 1. What did Tri-Valley draw up? They are unbeaten in the MVL Big School Division. 1 game ahead of the Sheridan Generals. Sheridan fans may be watching this at home, cheering for the Panthers to keep their title hopes alive. Caden King, 55 seconds to go. 3-pointer Lyle. Didn't even hit rim. It didn't look like saved, but they said Ty Smith was on the line. They said he stepped on the line, so now Maysville has to play keep away. I mean, Lyle's the guy I want taking the shot, and that was probably
exactly
the worst shot he's had tonight because he's been so good tonight. And that one, he just could not put it in. 50 seconds to go. Tri-Valley showing pressure. 5-second count was on. They got it in. They got it into Jarrett. Ooh. It was close. 40 seconds to go. Inside, all alone. Big block by Frew. Oh, my goodness. Tri-Valley the other way. Maybe a game-saving block. Smith for 3.
Bang.
He nails it. Woo. What a sequence of events for Ty Smith and the Dogs. What a block. What a shot. What a play.
Wow. The block by Frew. The transition. Luke Lyle with his head up finds Ty Smith. Not afraid of the moment. Hits the big 3 to put the Dogs back up by 2.
Man. the fan in me was wanting him to hit that shot to complete the sequence.
I know. And I mean, that's one of those, too. We're missing the crowd. Just think, if this gym is full, the reaction that shot gets.
Man,
that was reaction from us.
That was cool. I tell you what, Dave, I have not seen a ton of great basketball this year. I'm not going to lie. Even close games. It's nice to see a close game. I've seen a lot of blowouts from the Highland girls. Let's put it that way. I've been to,
you covered the Highland girls.
Yeah, I've been in a handful of those games. But, man, big shot by Ty Smith. And how about Frew? Is that LeBron-esque, Dave?
That was he didn't have to come from behind.
Well, he didn't pin it on the backboard. But what I'm saying is that was a wide-open layup.
He covered
he was
distance.
all alone, and he came out of there.
Distance. Yes, he did. That was a heck of a play.
We got to reset the clock here. All right, 30
end.
seconds to go. Maysville, full length of the court, 25 seconds down 2. Let's roll. 19 seconds, Hayden Jarrett. 15 seconds. Dogs by 2. Jarrett to the rack. Outside, Roberts, the sophomore, the freshman, misses it.
Can't get the rebound now.
Quentin Stotsberry grabbed it, but a foul is called. Losing track here. But Cole Roberts, he's a sophomore, as he took that shot. Quentin Stotsberry have a chance at the line, guys. Q is 29 of 39 at the line. He leads the team in free throw percentage at 74% coming in. 16 points tonight, and he makes it. He makes the first free throw. 6.5 seconds left in the game. Game on the line, and Cobb McLaughlin's going to ice him. He's going to ice the big fella to try to prevent overtime.
Well, you got a couple thoughts in mind here. One, if he misses it, you're telling people don't get in a hurry because with less than 10 seconds, you don't have to get the ball across half court. And they're probably going to have to foul you. They only have 5 team fouls. So if you're Maysville, don't be afraid to be aggressive because you can foul in this situation in the backcourt or try to get a rebound even because you're not going to put them at the free throw line. Now, at the same time, if he makes this, you've got, is there 5 something or 6?
6.5.
6.5. You got 6 seconds, which is an eternity in basketball. The clock doesn't start till it's touched in bounds. So Dave Brown's got to be thinking about, do you want to put some kind of token pressure to make them reverse the basketball and keep it in the backcourt? You can't just let them come up the court on the dribble because 6 seconds, any good player can get down the floor in 4 seconds with a basketball in his hands.
Yeah.
So,
see, I'm glad you're here, Dave, because you're the smart guy that coached. I'm the guy that's more of a fan.
Yeah.
And just kind of enjoys them along for the ride. But you're thinking about all the next level stuff here with 6.5 seconds. Let's see what happens. Because even if Stotsberry makes this, it's not the game. There's 6.5 left, so Tri-Valley's going to come back running.
Yep.
Here we go.
You got to secure the rebound if it's a miss.
Quentin Stotsberry, he misses it. Rebound to the Dogs and fouled. Roberts fouls.
But
Frew with
not
21.
in the bonus yet.
Jake Frew. Okay, yeah.
So they're going to have to take the ball out of bounds. That's their 6th team foul.
Yeah, that's
now,
rough.
The next foul does put them in the bonus. So you're going to have to – you got to go for the steal. But if you don't get the steal, you foul immediately.
4.8 seconds left. 1 point Tri-Valley lead. They get it in. No, to Ty Smith. No, he lost it. Clock does not start. And it does go out of bounds off the Panthers here on the near sideline. Stotsberry got tangled up in it, but, man, that was close. And the Maysville staff is saying time went off the clock, but no one ever touched the ball. I'm not sure time should go off the clock.
It got touched down here when Stotsberry knocked it out of bounds.
A second and a half went off the clock. It was at 4.8. We're at 3.2 seconds now. If you're watching from home, I'm not sure if a second and a half had time to go off there, but 3.2 seconds left. Tri-Valley to inbound.
You can't throw the ball back towards their basket. There you go.
Into Frew, and they get him. They got him fouled. They're going to put him to the line to shoot in the bonus. Logan Smith fouled him. That's Jake Frew, a 6'3 senior, going to shoot free throws with a 1 point lead. No matter what happens, we're shooting in the bonus. He almost missed this. If you missed, well,
if you remember,
there's not much time to go the other way.
In the national championship game, Duke versus Butler, they had to miss the free throw, and the kid from Butler almost threw it in from half court at the buzzer. So, there is a lot of credence to missing it on purpose. I've seen people try to miss it on purpose and bank it in. Okay, but whatever happens, Tri-Valley, you cannot foul.
No. Well, Jake Frew, 65% free throw shooter on the season, 19 of 29 coming in. He has 10 points tonight. 3 Tri-Valley Scotties in double digits. And he sinks it, nothing but nets. Tri-Valley at 54-52, but even on a make,
you have to match up here. You have to know where everybody is. I wouldn't let number 10 down there get away from me.
Second one, it's a 3-point game. Timeout, Maysville. So they're going to be able to draw something up with 2 seconds left. Okay, now it's getting fun.
Okay, so with 2.3 seconds, it's 2.2. Do you foul? That's the key. Do you foul if somebody is going to try to attempt it before they can attempt a 3-point shot?
All right. So, Dave, I've seen way more teams lose by not fouling than lose by fouling. Yeah. I'm under the I say foul. Now, 2 seconds with a full length of the court, that's a little different. I have seen teams I'm telling you,
it's
the last
hard,
second I've seen teams lose. I've seen them go to overtime. I've never seen a team foul to force free throws and not give up a 3-point play. I've never seen that.
I'm always paranoid that I would foul a kid that's shooting a 3, and we foul him, and he hits it, and he gets a 4-point play.
There's that chance too, but I'm telling you, last year Morgan beat Union Local in the tournament on that same thing. Morgan hit a 3.
Look,
and they were able to.
There's no way anybody from Tri-Valley should run this direction toward us. They should all be.
All right, 2.2 to go.
Make them shoot it from half court.
2.2. Hayden Jarrett gets it. 2 seconds. Half court. Heave at the buzzer.
Oh,
my goodness.
Off the back of the rim.
Wow, what a shot and what a finish. Heartbreak City for the Maysville Panthers. Are you kidding me? 55-52. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That was, that looked good from our view. It looked like it was good. So
Hayden Jarrett had a great look at it, and that would have forced it into overtime. 55-52 is your final, folks. Wow. How cool. Great game. And I know Maysville's going to go in the locker room disappointed. Love the effort. Love the energy. Really love the intelligence they played with tonight. I thought all those things were super positive. And Tri-Valley is the Tri-Valley factor. They gutted it out. They've been there. They've done that. They know how to win. They know how to win down the stretch, and they have guys that got it done. And, Dave, I told you I'm not a smart guy. But I said Ty Smith needed to assert himself a little bit more. And he hit some buckets down the stretch that really were a real difference maker.
I can't believe it. Did you say that during halftime, or
I
did you say it on the air? I don't know if you said that on the air.
No, that was on the air. 'Cause Dave, I don't have too many intelligent things to say, so I save them when we're on the air.
Well, and it's the sequence of, I shouldn't say the play of the game, but the sequence of the game really was the block by Frew where they're going to score. He comes from nowhere. He blocks it. They control it. They come down on the fast break. Luke Lyle hits Ty Smith, who just buries the 3. That was the sequence of the game right there. So just a fantastic. My wife texts me. She says, "Hey, finally a good game."
Really, really, truly. It wasn't a bad good game either. It was a good game.
No, it was well played. Both teams. Maysville played with a lot of intensity. Tri-Valley finally they ratcheted up their intensity level on the defensive end. Both teams played hard. And like you said, Dave Brown's got to be pretty happy with the way his team came in here and played. And I can do some final scoring here for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
For Maysville, Quentin Stottsberry with 17. Cade Searles with 5. Cole Roberts with 3. Hayden Jarrett with 13. Logan Smith with 14 rounds out the 52 for Maysville. For Tri-Valley, Drew Burkhart with 2 points. I thought his contributions were more defensive today. Did some nice things on defense. Ty Smith was 16, including the huge three. He hit 2 threes in the fourth quarter, so 16 for Ty Smith. Aaron Frew with 2. Jake Frew with 12, all in the second half. And you told me, you asked me what needs to happen. I said Jake Frew needs to score for Tri-Valley, and he did. The second half, he had 12. Luke Lyle with 21, 19 in the first half, and then Caden King had 2 points to round out the 55 for Tri-Valley.
But I will tell you, I mean, Dave, I mean, if Sheridan, I can't remember if Sheridan played tonight. See, I don't remember everything, right?
Well, see,
but
Philo was John Glenn tonight. So.
And they may have, so I apologize. I should know the schedule.
Yeah.
we cover so many teams. Yeah. I'm losing my mind, I promise. I got to drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours tomorrow night for a game at McDonald High School.
In the snow.
Let's hope it doesn't snow. I don't really want to stay the night. But what I'm getting at is if Sheridan didn't have a game, watching this game and say, we better, when we play Maysville again, I don't think they've played them twice.
No, they played them twice.
They've already played them twice. Jeez.
They played it was an 8-point game.
That's another thing. I've lost track with so much COVID cancellations. These games are all over the place.
Yeah, they played them twice in 10 days. Sheridan beat them 61-40 and then beat them 55-47.
Well, we know what that sets up at least. I mean, if Tri-Valley is able to take care of business, I mean, when Sheridan and Tri-Valley meet up again on the boys' side, assuming no upsets happen, Sheridan will have a chance to maybe get a piece of the league title. But, yeah, I was really impressed with the way Maysville played. I mean, they've been playing well. The pair of seniors, Smith and Stotsberry, stepped up to lead the team in scoring. So a lot of promise out of young Jarrett. Really, a lot of those young kids, man. They play so many young kids.
Yeah.
Alex Bob, Jarrett's just a sophomore. Cole Roberts, a sophomore. I don't know if I'm missing any of the young guys. But, yeah, they played really well, so we appreciate it. Dave, thanks as always. It's been fun. Fun game. Thanks to Jason Cunningham for his work with us. Really, really appreciate him running the camera for us. Thanks to our guy, Clark Wicks. Here, he's coming in. You don't see you see the guys a lot. So Clark's a full-time guy for us, shoots a lot of our highlights, edits a lot of what you see online. So we appreciate him being here as well.
I should mention Tri-Valley is at John Glenn tomorrow night, so there's no rest here. Got to play tomorrow night.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, when you're quarantined for a million years, you got to play when you can, right?
The big one tomorrow afternoon, as you said.
Yes.
Tri-Valley girls will be right here hosting the #1 team in the state.
So we have a treat for you tomorrow night. If you enjoyed this one, tune in tomorrow. Will and Dave will be back for you. That'll be a good one. Sheridan and Tri-Valley girls basketball rematch of last year's regional, last year's MVL champions. So it's going to be a good one.
Yes,
Join us. Hopefully, we've been averaging about 200 views on these last year. Maybe we get over 500 tomorrow. Share the word for us. I'll be creating the link tonight. It'll be available on our YouTube page to share it around, and we'll share it tomorrow. So that game is tomorrow, 1 o'clock JV, so varsity around 2:30. Your final score here from Dresden tonight. Tri-Valley 55, Maysville 52. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.